You mean the way I've turned out?
That one's in the stands too, Bill.
O'Neill. Yeah. Looked like he went left field and then right field.
Equal opportunity spray hitter.
Another thing to point out to the kids, you know, these guys are just making nice contact with the ball. They're not really looking to kill it. They're just heads are down and seeing the ball well, and it's a nice swing that especially Paul O'Neill has.
O'Neill, when he came to the Yankees from the Cincinnati Reds, he had an okay career going, but he's really blossomed as a Yankee over the last several years and has put up some very nice numbers.
Yeah, he's 13 years now in the major leagues. And one of the most intense ball players actually probably in the major leagues.
He's taking over for Lou Piniella and destroying the water coolers and stuff.
We got a few of those guys in a CVBL. Bernie Williams is now in the cage taking batting practice. I believe probably O'Neill and Jeter and Knobloch are done. We got Posada, Martinez, and Bernie Williams gonna take turns swinging.
I'll be curious to see if Williams will just bat from one side or if he'll take some swings from both sides. He probably concentrates on the side he plans on batting tonight based on who the starting pitcher is for the Expos.
Yeah, you're probably correct there. After the first round, they each got to do a little jog around the base path. Do their button, make them run. Simulating, he's out. Actually, Williams, it looks like he's going to simulate going to second type of thing. There goes Williams going to second base. Flaretz is out there on second, taking some infield. Bellinger's probably over there at third now. Williams now on his way to, and they tagged him out.
Tagged him out? Out, going to third. He's going to score on that one, I think.
Have you taken a picture of the blue skies yet?
Hey, no.
Permanent blue sky up here in Montreal now. Last time I was up here, they didn't have that. Is that so-called roof?
Well, it's been a couple of years, Bill, so you aren't up here supporting the Expos either, are you?
Nope. I'm running around with Little League, and now I'm involved with the minors on Sunday. Who has time?
I think there's too much of that. Who's got time going around? And it's only, once you get by that border, less than an hour you're here right in the parking lot walking in. So it's not that hard to get here.
Right, yeah, well, yeah, that's what it took us, about an hour from the border. So from Lime Mountain, you got to tack on another 45 minutes from Champlain to Lime Mountain. And that's on good roads in the winter, I mean in the summertime.
Very rarely are they icy, although it could have happened last night with the 31-degree temperature in Lime Mountain.
Yeah, it was cold this morning. Bet you these guys are saying a little bit different temperature than what they experienced. It was what, 80s, 90s in Atlanta, I believe, over the weekend. They come up here, it's in the 60s, low 70s.
Scott Brocious here waiting on his turn now, back in front of us here. I really feel, Bill, you know, I don't know how much of a sports history buff you are, but when I was a kid, I'd always read about the teams in the 30s and those high batting averages and all the runs they'd score and stuff, and I thought that must have been a great era to be watching baseball, but it's been nothing like the late 90s and the 2000s has started out to be. It's just, if you like offense, you got no excuse not to come to a baseball game.
That's true, but you know what? I saw something, I think it was on Sports Center or was it on the Fox Network channel. They were comparing the size of the ball fields from back with an era when you're talking about to now. And actually, the way they made it sound was all the ballparks were now are bigger.
Well, you take the old Polo Grounds. I think it was 296 feet down one of the lines. I think it was the left field line, and they had a big overhang up there. And there were some small ballparks back then. But I think your pitching has been diluted. The ball, they say, is tighter and a little livelier. Players are all chiseled. You know, there's not too many flabby players out there now. You know,
that's true. That's one thing. Yeah, I definitely noticed. Everybody is in shape. Not a lot of beer drinking after the game.
Well, they might drink beer, but they work out and they sweat it off. You know, they might drink a beer or two, but they spend their time in that weight room. And so I think the average ball player is probably in much better shape than the average ball player was 25, 30, and certainly 50 years ago.
Yeah, and that definitely does help.
But to me, the most boring season of all was probably 1968, the year that Bob Gibson had that 1.12 ERA and Denny McLain. You know, McLain going for the 31 wins was a little bit of an excitement, but there was hardly any hitting going on, and that's one of the years that forced the big leagues to start making things more acceptable to the hitters. They lowered the mound after that, and they've done a lot of changes. And if you look at a game on television and look at the strike zone, it looks like it's about the size of their mailbox.
Yeah, that's true. You know, the umpires, yeah, they're helping out the game in that you're almost forcing the pitcher to groove it.
It just, if it's above their belly button, that's the way it looks on television. They're calling it a ball, and it's a low strike zone.
We got somebody over here with Chris Chambliss hitting the ball off the tee. Oh, that's Brocious, I believe. Ricky Leday.
Now, that's what the players have to do. Do what it takes to get their swing going, and you know, there might be some people would be embarrassed to take a 17-year-old, ask him to go hit a ball off a tee, and say, "Oh, you think I am a kid?" That's what the big leaguers do to get their swing down.
Yeah, they sure do. I remember reading an article like on Don Mattingly. He talked about hitting the ball off the tee all winter long. Even, I believe, in his home, he built himself a batting cage.
Well, what we know about muscles now, Bill, is that they have a memory. And if you can get that swing down, get that muscle memory there, then it becomes almost automatic when you step up there. You can do a repetitious move. It takes a while to learn, but once your muscles learn it, they've learned it. So somebody like Mattingly, who had hitting down to a science, and if not for a bad back, would have had a Hall of Fame career. Certainly put everything he could into becoming a great hitter.
Geez, I think I even heard a rumor last year. Was it last year or was it this year that he went to spring training actually to possibly take a shot again with the Yankees?
Well, hope springs eternal, but he took a year off the year they got Tino Martinez, and I think Martinez hit 44 homers or something that year. And the first base is one of the positions you've got to get some power out of, and the last couple of years Mattingly put up some decent batting averages, but wasn't the power hitter that he was before. And you know, he hit 54 doubles in a season. He was a constant power threat. He probably never hit more than 31 homers in a season, but he was a threat to hit the ball out once in a while, and extra base hits. But at the end of his career, he just wasn't putting up the numbers that you could justify having him out there at playing first base.
Martinez just hit one out on his last round of bat practice here. Bernie Williams has stepped in and again. Ricky Leday looks like he's going to take his turn with the batting tee also. Shane Spencer's standing over there on the other side of Don Zimmer. You got Willie Roundoff throwing a ball off the wall.
I do that at home.
I do that on the state prison wall across the street there,
Yeah.
Lime Mountain. I used to as a kid anyway, so we had a game we played out in the 374. We can't do that no more. It's state property. Martinez just hit one about 10 rows up down the right field line. That was a shot.
Brocious is stepping in and getting some live pitching. Oh, Lede's going to go just one-handed here.
Almost they're tossing it up.
They're almost ready to pull the cage out here.
Yeah, that could be winding down here.
Well, Bill, what do you say we get a bite to eat?
Okay, sounds good to me. Think Ron's ready for a bite to eat?
I think so.
Where tonight's three casino sections, 107 Terrace, 106 Terrace, and 143 Bleachers. Which section will be the highlight of the comes from tonight's casino lucky section? Stay tuned. Shortstop Derek Jeter. I'd like to show the left to right fielder, Paul O'Neill. I'd like to show this to center fielder, Bernie Williams. Coming in first baseman is Stevens. Le voltigeur de gauche, voltigeur de droite, right fielder Paul O'Neill. numéro 1, number 1, Terry Jones. Once again, the number 46 will now pitching for the Expos. The numéro 47, number 47, Mike Johnson. Also, the catcher will come this time. Elizabeth catcher Brian Schneider. Advancing the third baseman.
Le voltigeur de centre cercle firme le leader légèrement. Introducing the second baseman, Jeff Oak. the catcher will be second.
got behind a couple of hitters and threw fastballs, and that's what hurt us.
Are you kind of surprised that he gave Guerrero such a good pitch to hit with first base open, and then Stevens gets to hit with first base open?
Well, I'm not sure that he wanted to give Guerrero that pitch. He may try to come in off the plate, and it got away from him a little bit. Stevens fought that ball off. I trust Dave in situations like that, and I'm sure where the pitch was, he didn't, probably didn't mean to put it there.
Your team continues to get base hits, but even in Atlanta, they didn't get a lot of big hits. Is that a concern?
Well, it's something you go through. For sure we could have used a big hit tonight in the situation, and it wasn't to be. They keep plugging away. They keep battling, Michael, and I still believe good things are going to happen. It's just a little frustrating waiting for it to happen.
Now, that play in the first inning where Tino doesn't score because he didn't touch home plate before third, is anybody at fault in it?
Well, yeah, Georgie can't make the third out of third base. He had the right intention when he went to third to draw the throw, but he's got to keep track of Tino on the way to third base, and then just sort of pull up and get caught in the rundown. So that was just an inexperience.
What did the umpire say about O'Neill?
He said he didn't see it hit him on the foot. His toe was bleeding, but that didn't mean a whole lot. That was just one of those things. The umpire at third base, Jimmy Joyce, he watched the ball go to first, so he wasn't paying attention to Paul's reaction. The only way an umpire can make that call is to look at the reaction of the player. And I mean, from the get-go, he was spinning out of the batter's box, and that's really what should make the call for the umpire.
Was there ever any thought about looking at the ball for shoe polish, or was that by days gone by?
Yeah, it's days gone by. I was waiting to take his shoe off so we could show him the blood. That's what we probably should have done. It was just that. I guess that's the perfect example of insult to injury.
Have you decided what you're going to do tomorrow?
No, not yet, Susan. That phone call probably is. Mel and I will go out tonight and figure it out, and then tomorrow, if we don't bring somebody, from Columbus, somebody will find a ball in their shoe.
Who would be considered for Columbus?
I don't know. I'm waiting.
Oh, okay.
That's what that call probably is from Brian.
Is a series like this a perfect example of how it's kind of you guys against the world and everybody has a chance to get up for a series against the Yankees?
Yeah. Well, I played against the Yankees longer than I've been with them, and there's no question that you feel pretty good if you beat the Yankees. Even during the years when they were a little lean, when they weren't winning a lot, the Yankees are a prestige organization, and you take a lot of pride and a lot of satisfaction from beating them.
Thanks.
I missed the start. What did you think overall?
Home runs, is that pretty much what you see?
Well, yeah, two low pitches, possibly 5 runs. At times I was really good, and then, like the rest of the year, at times I kind of lose it. During those times when I lose it, it's really costing me. Giving up some big home runs.
Now, you get first base open in the first inning. Guerrero up, and Joe said you probably didn't want to make that pitch. What were you trying to do there?
I tried to go with 2-0 splitter, something else to eat. And, I thought maybe he'd be leaning out over the plate, but it wasn't that good a pitch. He kind of hung it in the middle man, and he doesn't miss many of those.
Now, you anxiously asked Joe today that you wanted to fill in. How come you so wanted to pitch today?
I'd like to pitch tomorrow again. Tell you the truth, I can't get out there quick enough. I feel great. I feel too good to be having these types of numbers. I'm going to bang away at it. I feel really good. I feel great. I have a little confidence to bounce back.
Not that you would use this as an excuse, but before the Cabrera home run, you're on the base paths running around tired, David?
No, not at all. Not at all. It's frustrating in that I get 2 quick outs in the first. I should be out of that game. And the second start in a row, I can make a big multi-run. Get a quick out, get a big strikeout in the 6th. Struck out Stevens on a good fastball in. It looked like I was going to have another 1, 2, 3 inning. Next thing you know, I'm in trouble. I walk the guy, or I put up a hit. I almost hit me in the head, actually. Just not a drive back up the middle all the time. Hit more at time. Scored. Home run.
Feel good about the base hit?
Feel good, yeah, I am. Sure. It's a little bit of bragging rights.
Now, you looked into the dugout when you were on the third and they held you up. Were they getting all over you that you didn't score there?
I don't know about that. I think they were getting on me about almost running back to first.
What did you think was a foul ball?
Yeah, I thought I heard the umpire say foul ball. I'm not on the base pass very much. That would have been extremely embarrassing when we got tagged out on that. Thanks.
The Phillies sweep the Sox and Montreal sweep Baltimore. I mean, it would appear that these games maybe mean more to the lower level clubs in the first place leagues. You know. Do you get the impression that other teams get extra fired up to play top-level Americans?
Montreal's got a good team. They've got some quality players. I know Vitro's out. They're a good young team.
Yeah, I thought the players were out today. Some of the coming in and most of them, it just was really fired up.